Hello First Period. Today I'll be talking about the 5 classes of warships used during the Elizabethan era to defend William Shakespeare and England as a whole. Okay, the first will be the gunboat. It had 2 frontal cannons, no broadside cannons, and one mast. Very small and used mostly for reconnaissance, and it was also very cheap to build. The top view will show you just how big it is compared to my ship, which is a brig, which I'll be getting to later in the video. The next is a schooner. It had anywhere from 4 to 20 cannons in use, and the schooners ranged in size a lot. This schooner is decently sized, not as big as my ship, which is a brig, and had no frontal cannons, no rear cannons, no mortars, just broadside cannons. It was a warship, but very small one, and you can see just how big it is compared to my ship. Yeah. The next is the brig, which is equivalent to my ship, and it was large in size. Took about 150 men to handle, and had 1 or 2 decks of guns, generally only 1 deck of weapons. It had front cannons, rear cannons, and was equivalent to destroyer in today's time. The next is the frigate, or the ship of the line. Both nearly describe this thing. However, frigates usually only had 1 set of broadsides, while ship of the lines had 2. And these even required more men than the brig did. Now, these are very large warships that were used generally with man-of-wars, or they're second to the biggest, which is man-of-wars, which I'll be showing you later, and had anywhere from 60 to 100 guns on them. They were pretty big. And the largest class of vessel is the man-of-war. Had anywhere from 100 to 120 guns on it. They took, I believe, 2,000 oak or elm trees to make, and were just massive ships. They only went 2 to 3 miles per hour, which is walking speed pretty much, and they were generally hosted the admiral or the officer of the fleet. The ship was easily the biggest of this time. It was large, it was luxurious, it had a captain's cabin fit for a king, and usually the admirals were treated like kings. Up to about 300 or more men worked on the ship. It had lifeboats for any type of situation that it was thrown at them. Like I said, 120 guns, and easily dwarfed any ship at the time, by far. And that's a size comparison between a brig and a man-of-war. This was taken during, obviously, probably the Caribbean era, but the only differences between ships then and during the Elizabethan era is the ships in the Elizabethan era were a little bit shorter and a little bit chubbier, but that's about it. Thanks for watching.